All right, give me an updates.
So Morgan got 5 100s sent home yesterday, including his math quiz that he took, which was astounding. He has done so well. All of his grades are amazing. He's got 2 A's and a B in school right now. He's been happy. He's been working through his homework, and his medication is actually, because I had the 5 milligram short acting dose, it's reduced. He's only getting about 3 hours or so a day, just right in that morning chunk instead of that big long, one that makes him not eat. He's gained 5 pounds, which
Oh,
is
good.
great because he really needed to do that. So he's eating better. But he's just, his general understanding has clicked, and his overall improvement is great. And we didn't do any extra, studying or work on anything school related per se. But he's just, on the whole, like, everything's just making sense to Morgan. He's doing great. His Alexa came this week. So we got it set up in the kitchen this morning. So it's a surprise. He doesn't know about it yet. And I tested it out and had it spelling words for me. I was like, spell museum, just to see how it did. So it was great. And I got his magnetiles today too. So those are going to be a surprise for his Easter stuff next week as we work through the scavenger hunt. So
Oh,
basically
yeah.
just a lot of preparation happening this week for what we're going to do next week. We kind of made that plan, and that's sort of what we're focusing on. So he's at a field trip today with his class to do an Easter egg hunt. And tomorrow, I think, is kind of a relaxed day. And then they're off Friday. So we're kind of
Okay.
cruising out the end of this week. Hopefully, I get my oral surgery kind of thing taken care of, and hopefully we'll be doing better by next week and really ready to hit it hard and have a good week, off, but a fun week. So that's kind of where we're at. Like, he's getting great grades. Everybody's going good. There's no aggravation, no stress. Like, we're happy and cruising over here.
I'm so glad to hear that. It sounds like
Yeah.
you've got your schedule lined up good too, so that you can
Mhm.
have a couple days before spring break hits. You've got the
Right.
prizes, you've got the schedule for spring break, got them kind of set up. Yeah, it seems like, you know how people say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, but you have planned. You have planned
Yes,
for success. You have planned for
I
success.
have.
So
I have.
it's
And I
going
even
really
took
well.
4 days off of work in a row, which I never ever do. So I'm going to get this done. We're going to recover and heal, and then hopefully get over this cold. And then next week hit it strong, which I think those days off will be great to just rest, relax, play with the kids, have some fun, and kind of mend. And then hopefully next week will be a really strong week.
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like you guys are looking forward to some good stuff. So I wanted to tell you he came Thursday
Hmm.
and Lego Club was canceled well, it wasn't canceled, but it was the fifth
Hmm.
Thursday instead of the first and the third. And so he
Right.
told me, he said, but I had Lego Club written on my calendar for
I
today. And
Mom failed. I know.
I
And
know,
I ordered.
I felt bad too because you told me you had it on there and I was playing on Lego Club too. And he's been looking at this calendar and he said, I had Lego Club on my calendar today. He said that. And I thought, tell me about your calendar. And he was telling me about it and he said it's in his room. But he said, I'm getting my carpet redone. Maybe you can come over after we
Oh.
finish getting the carpet done, carpet
It
down.
is so funny because I have my Bic whiteout tape came today too, so I can fix his calendar. Because I was like, no, I messed up. But I am going to fix that for next month, so he's got it on the right days. And you said, now correct me if I'm wrong, was last week or is it this week that's the last read?
This week is the last
Okay,
week. And so after spring break, we're going to take a break until the summer and we'll start back
okay,
after summer reading. And summer
okay.
reading kickoff is going to be that first week of June. I think it's like June 8th or 9th, maybe the second Friday of June. But we're going to start the 15th on a Thursday, June 15th. We're going to start back
Okay.
with our program and it's going to actually be a camp day. So it's going to be all day at the library. We're going to have like water games and recess. And then, of course, we're going to do some reading and then we're going to do some games and stuff. So we'll have much more time.
Okay.
But Thursday actually starts earlier because Miss Ashley does a story time. So
Hmm.
the parents, are to come to that. They keep the kids during that, and that's from 10 to 11. And then I'm hoping to bring in the free lunch program so that we can be a host, and they'll
Hmm.
bring the lunches. You know how they do the summer lunch program? Have you ever heard of that?
I
So
have.
I'm hoping we can be a host, and that way the kids can eat, and the camp, they can come and eat. They can do the camp. And yeah, we're hoping that the library will be a fun place that we can kind of keep that stuff going. I'm working on us setting up as a host now because I just want to do it on Thursdays. But if the library wants to do it all summer, I'm just kind of like, I can help out on Thursdays. I
Right,
don't want to do it.
right.
Yeah, I don't want to do it every day. So I don't know if we're going to be able to get it. We're going to have to see if we can get a team of people to kind of man it and run it.
Hmm.
So that's what we're trying to work out now. If not, they'll just bring their lunch or a snack, probably a lunch because it'll be all day.
Yeah.
So, I'll be getting more information and kind of getting all that once I get the details and,
Mhm.
get you guys in it.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, he talked about his calendar and I was just like, tell me about it. And he was like, it is so cool. And,
And
it's
he
so nice.
remembers every day to mark those days off. I thought for sure he would forget, but nope. Every day I go back there and there's another little day marked off, and I'm like, he is on it, man. That really just he would loves it. And I was so funny because like my daughter never would have reacted to that, or my other son, like they would have just been whatever and not paid any attention. But he thrives on knowing exactly what it is, and he's been so good because he's the kid that like I cannot get to put his shoes by the front door, or I cannot get to hang his coat up when he comes in. Like it doesn't matter. I cannot get to wash his hands before dinner. I mean, he does these things, but only because every single day it's like, do this. I never mention the calendar, and he goes back and just does it. And I'm like, how? Like I can't even remember the calendar, but he remembers the calendar. Why do you remember the calendar and nothing else? I don't know, but you remember the calendar. It's hilarious. I need to put your shoes away or pack do your stuff on his calendar so he'll
Yeah,
remember.
you can go ahead and give him some of those visuals to check off. I think that would be awesome for him. And,
Yeah,
you can do the check off for things, that you want for him to do in the morning and stuff. And I think he might thrive off of that if he's kind of
he
like
may.
Mark. Mark likes a check off with the time. Like Mariana just
Hmm.
kind of likes a routine of stuff she needs to
Hmm.
get done during the day. But Mark wants a time. Like he wants to know, well, what time do I need to have this done by? He
Hmm.
wants something specific. Um, but yeah, my personality doesn't like it. And so when things change, I forget to rewrite it or make him a new one. And then he's off. And then I'm fussing, like, I told you to do this by then. And he's just like, okay.
Yeah,
And
but
so
he
it's
doesn't
my
remember it
fault.
right.
It's my fault because he needs a new updated schedule or routine. And because our schedule changes so much, I'm just like, and I have to rewrite it every day. And so sometimes I just don't, and it
Right.
just gets off. But he likes that. And so, I try to do it for him more. But that sounds like that's what Morgan is because they just have so much going on in their minds. And so a checklist makes it easier. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that he's doing that. When I heard him talk about it, I could tell that it was something that's working and sticking because he shared it with us. And so Lego Club is this Thursday.
Right. So
So
I have my root canals at 9:15, and they told me probably TMI, but so I had one done on this side several years back, and it was really traumatic. They had to put a lot of injections in the bone to get it to numb, and there was a lot of issues, and it hurt really bad. This one, she said the tooth itself, because of the infection, is already dead. Like it's not, because she was hitting on it with the metal thing and everything, and I don't feel a thing. So she said
mm,
most likely it is not going to be difficult to deal with or to numb, and it shouldn't be nearly as painful. So my plan is to get my root canal done in the morning at 9:15, come home, have lunch with a friend, pick up the kids, and come to Lego Club and reading program. If I'm under the weather, then we may not make it. So I'll just kind of have to play it by ear and see what goes on. But that is my plan
okay.
right now, because she's saying I shouldn't like take some Advil and I should be fine. So,
Okay.
if that's the case, because again, like she did a bite test and everything, I can't feel anything. So it's just the infection right now that is my problem that I'm dealing with.
Okay.
So it should be fine. I'm planning on going about life as usual, and we're planning on a beach day Friday, even though it's supposed to rain, fingers crossed. It doesn't in the morning. I'm really hoping.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just going to look over our notes real quick. The only
Mhm.
thing that I was saying is that I did leave for your week. Day 5, we kind of left open. We
Right,
put
right.
building with the Tiles, we put cut and paste 3D shapes, building with Legos,
Mhm.
the scavenger hunt, and then that day 5, I just kind of left open. Are you okay with just leaving that open and maybe redoing something new?
I think
Or just
I
kind
think
of,
what I might do is just make that a free day for Morgan. Like, what was your favorite
okay.
activity this week? Which one would you like to do again? And I'm betting he's going to want to do those tiles again, which is totally
Okay.
fine by me.
All right. Well, very good. So, let's see. So next week is spring break. Do you want to meet next Wednesday over spring break? And I think is that our last meeting? I feel like that's our last meeting.
I think so. Yeah.
Do you want to do that do you want to do that week? Do you want to take that off and then do one more week to kind of just talk a little bit more about what it's going to look like this summer? I think that would be good for our last session.
Let's go ahead and take it off and do the next week, just because I think we'll see how this entire week goes coming up.
Okay.
And then it
Mm-hmm.
would be better for me to get through that entire week and then be able to kind of bounce that off of you, what worked, what didn't work, and get maybe some feedback on it, versus
Okay.
we've done 2 days and it's been great, but the rest of the week is maybe a train wreck. And then I would want to talk about it and we don't have another meeting left. So that would work better for me. So let's just plan on skipping spring break week. We'll do it the week after and we can kind of recap and say, as my first homeschooling week, this is what, my experience is, or what I think I need help with, or what I need suggestions on. And we'll kind of plan around that. But I think that would be a good plan. Plus, I mean, I don't know exactly where that week is going to lead us. And we may have an activity, and be out or something that week
Yeah.
too. Like you're going to do something out of the house or something, just because we have those activities, especially for outside scavenger hunting. We may decide to go do our scavenger hunt, somewhere else. We may be like, hey, let's go, to a store, or let's go to a park, or let's do something and try to find stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
we might just kind of play it by ear.
Yep, definitely. These are just ideas and suggestions that so that your mind is thinking, kind of what can I incorporate when we're out. But, if you guys
Mhm.
decide to go to the beach or take a vacation or just not do anything, maybe just remember, let me turn on the captions, while we watch this video.
Right.
Let me just kind of mention, let's spell some, what are these words when we're driving to the grocery store, just having some ideas that you want to keep the learning going during spring break so that he doesn't have that little slide, and that his
Absolutely.
brain is just, it's still picking up and things are just clicking and firing, and his little calendar, things like that. You can, even put some stuff on his calendar that will help you guys stick to it a little bit too. Maybe put,
Right.
that we will do math and reading for 30 minutes on his calendar each day. That might be something you could
I
do.
think what I'm going to do, because I thought about it with the planner. I don't want him having too many different places to look. So I think what I might do is, he's got his calendar hanging on his door, but I think underneath, I'm going to print out like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday little chart for him with times and what's going on. And I think I'm just going to kind of tape it on his door underneath his calendar. And every week that can come off and a new one can go on, so that he's got a more in-depth look of what's going on with the days, but it's still in the same spot. So he can go, okay, this is Monday, and the numbers can match up at the top, like, Monday the 12th or whatever the day is.
Yeah.
And, kind of do it that way. So that way he can see it. It's big, it's bright, it's colorful. Because I think if I get that planner and I put it somewhere else, it's going to end up getting lost, or he's going to go, he's looking for it and not paying attention to the calendar or whatever. I think just kind of keeping his schedule all in one spot is,
Yep.
is a good thing to
That
do.
looks good.
So I
That
think that's
sounds good.
probably what I'll do for next week, and we'll try it. We'll kind of test pilot that and see how he responds to it. But the way he's going with the calendar, I think it's going to be no problem at all.
That's good. Okay. Well, I think that sounds good. I really like the idea of you going through this whole week of kind of thinking what homeschool is going to look like this summer, and then we'll talk
Yeah.
next week. That's a good idea.